Hey guys, welcome back. Today we've got a really interesting conversation with Mel from SAE Group, and it's all about understanding when to get solar on your home or your business, and at what point should we consider things like battery storage. I know this is a very confusing area for a lot of people, so we're going to break it down and go from real simple all the way through to complicated, and hopefully you can learn something from this. So Mel, thanks for coming on the podcast today to talk about solar and batteries.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
So I guess the first question, I want to keep it nice and broad to start with. So when should a homeowner start to consider putting solar panels on their roof?
I'm going to sound like such the salesperson right now, but straight away, really, like our electricity bills are just growing and growing and they're getting bigger and bigger. So if you want to take that pain out, solar is 100% the best way to do it.
Nice. And so when we're looking at things like how much a solar system would cost and how do we work out what we should be investing in with solar, where does a homeowner start?
It is overwhelming. It is such a massive decision to make. It's very broad. A system can cost anywhere from $4,000 to $15,000 for the same size, but it all comes down to quality components as well. So I like to try and keep these things as simple as possible and think about it in terms of what you need. So I guess no two homes are the same, no two rooftops are the same, and the way we behave in our homes are never the same. So I'll throw it back to you actually, Michael. I'll be like, so tell me a little bit about your home and what you've currently got, and then we can sort of guide you through how you would look at a solar system.
I'm currently a customer of SAE Group. So I got a solar system put on my roof, I think about 4 years ago now. It was a fantastic install. And at the time we had a work from home business. So I was working from home and I had air conditioners running. We had a pool and I just thought it's time to get some solar. And so I got a system, I think it was about the 10 kilowatt, 11 kilowatt range. And that was actually fantastic. It almost completely got rid of my electrical bill. But then we decided to get a pool heater and extra air conditions. And now it's using a little bit more power because of that extra load. Yep. But before we had that, it was basically a complete offset.
That's the perfect story. So, and everyone has a similar journey. So your system has been sized to what your current usage was at home. And as we do, we grow. So in your future, like you've just mentioned, you've now got extra aircon, you're working from home, a pool filter, a pool heater added, there may be an EV in your future. So how do you also future-proof your system? So you kind of want to look at your current habits and then what you've got planned for the future. And that can change. So I think, like you said, your system has covered what you've gotten so far. So you really want to look at how much solar you can fit on your roof. You always want to have that little bit of excess energy that you can. Traditionally in the past with good feed-in tariffs, you could send that back to the grid. Now feed-in tariffs have dropped considerably. The important part to think about when you're looking at solar for your home is making sure that the system can generate enough to cover your usage. And now with batteries, that's both daytime and nighttime usage. So it sounds like you guys have a pretty big daytime load, working from home, aircon, pool filter, so you want to have that all switched on through the day while your solar's generating. And then, but I know you still have a bit of a bill now, and that will be coming into your nighttime usage as well. So what we would do for you as an example, I'd look at, have you got any more room on that roof? Can we put some more solar on there for you? And then we would offset your nighttime usage by adding a battery, and that would cancel out that bill again for you.
That's really good. And because at the moment we ended up getting a pool heater, 28 kilowatt purchase, and fantastic for extending the pool. Been amazing. You can swim right into the night. It's just like a lot of power to pool. And so, like we said, air conditions, the filter, the pool heater, potentially an EV in the future. Now I'm at that phase where I'm like, okay, how do we go about, and already got solar and load has gone up because I've got more demand now. When do I work out the feasibility of a battery and investment is in the payoff? How do we work that out?
A couple of things. Again, just thinking about you and your situation, we look at what excess energy your solar system's currently generating and make sure that that is enough to be able to cycle the battery, or that will give us an indication of the size of battery that you could potentially be storing that energy for your home. As I mentioned before, feed-in tariffs are all but gone. So you always want to be making sure you're using whatever you can be turning on through the day while you're generating your electricity, that's great. But then we still have large nighttime loads now as well. So whatever you're storing in your battery will offset your nighttime usage, and you're paying peak prices. So, it's talking 50 cents per kilowatt hour. Potentially that's quite a lot of money. That's another probably about $400 a month back on your bill. that can all be offset by storing it in a battery. Now, with the battery, question has been for a long time, are they worth it? Until recently, they were pretty expensive and the payback period didn't quite make sense. So a standard payback period on your solar system is about 3 to 4 years, all dependent on your energy habits. The batteries at the time were probably, creeping up to a 10-year payback period. But now the cheaper homes battery scheme in market, and that has completely changed the game. So a battery now has a payback period as well of around 3 to 4 years. So it makes it really worthwhile.
Wow, that's so interesting. I think there'll be a lot of people out there that don't quite understand it. So let's just say, we can use my house example, it's time to get a battery. When it comes to payback periods, working the investment, how much that incentive can cover. How does that all work? And then should I be prioritizing doing that now?
Yeah, it is a great question. So this is quite new to market. So it started July 1st. The federal government launched what's called the Cheaper Homes Battery Scheme. And the whole plan behind this is really to help stabilise the grid. So Australia's gone from real encouragement to try and adopt solar as much as possible. We've done that. There are, I don't remember my numbers now, but upwards of 3 million homes now with solar on the rooftop. And what that has done is there's now an excess glut of energy in the middle of the day that's burning off that we could be using to store overnight time. By the government, program, what they're encouraging us all to do is to put a battery on our home, store that energy, and that also helps them to stabilise the grid, and it means effective living for all of us as well. So Super Homes Battery Scheme came in July 1st. It has been a really rapid uptake because you can save up to 30% on the cost of a battery, and that's been subsidised by the government for you. So there's eligibility for that, but you can speak to any good solar and they'll be able to walk you through that. So essentially a battery from 5 kilowatt hours up to 100 kilowatt hours eligible for the program, and you can receive a rebate of up to 30% from anywhere from 5 kilowatt hours up to 50 kilowatt hours. Yeah, so that brings your cost of your battery right down and then puts it back into that really nice payback return on investment bracket again of 4 years in most cases. So a battery makes sense. Just if you've got intermittent power supply, if you do have things in your home that cannot be switched off and you can't afford to run the risk of power dropping, things like that, that's a great reason to put a battery on as well. There's a lot of reasons why you might consider a battery for your home these days. The technology is also improved out of sight, so it's really, really safe, which is why we're comfortable enough to now release the Cheaper Homes Battery Scheme as well.
Fantastic. That's so useful to understand all that. I feel like that really makes sense. It sounds like a perfect time to look to invest in batteries and solar. And I think probably the next question I would have, a lot of homeowners or potentially business owners are looking maybe to then invest in either solar, a battery, or both. What is the advantage of going with a company like SAE Group that's been around for years now and their experience, et cetera, over maybe a smaller outfit that's just started?
Yeah, it's a great question, and there's a minefield of companies out there and cross sections of people that work in our industry. So for us, we are gold master electricians. We are electricians first and foremost. So we're very technical in what we prescribe for our customers. So we offer tailored solutions. We don't kind of run out a package and just sort of whack it on your house and hope that works for you. We do come out, we scope your home, ask you the questions we've just run through, understand your energy habits, and then prescribe a system that's right for you. On top of that, we've been in the game 15 years, installing batteries for 10. We've worked on a lot of the pilot programs, so we know what works and what doesn't. We know what to look for in market. And so we'll only put forward the brands that we trust, that know that they're going to be here for the long haul and that we've got great customer support for our customers as well. So all of that matters. You do want to make sure that it's a partnership, putting something on your home that you need to be able to understand and navigate your way through. And it should stand up for a 10-year period. So you want to make sure you've got good support to operate that system.
Okay, Mel. So what should homeowners and business owners that are considering to hire a solar company look out for?
The industry is heavily regulated and we do have a lot of really great industry associations that protect customers as well. So if you're out there and you're speaking to a multitude of companies, which happens a lot, most customers, will do their due diligence and make sure they're getting a minimum of three quotes, but look out for some certain things. If a company is net CEC approved, that means that there are a lot of customer protections in place to make sure that the sales contracts are all aligned and governed by all of our laws here in Australia. And we have to behave accordingly to that, which is great. So that's a really good one to look out for. As I mentioned before, we are Gold Master electricians. This is our bread and butter. We're not a sales company, so that makes a big difference to make sure that the technicality behind your installation is there and the support. We also hold ISO accreditations for quality and for safety, which is really important to us. That's something over and above that we do. But we're also accredited with the likes of the Smart Energy Council, put these policies and governance in place and make sure customers are protected, that the gear is correct, CEC approved, Energy Council approved gear is being used, and all of those sorts of protections are in place for customers. So there's a lot of ways to make sure that you're dealing with a reputable company out there.
Fantastic. Well, I feel like we've had a really nice education today about when to look at getting solar or batteries and how the process works, now being such a good time to potentially look at it. If someone is interested, whether they're a residential owner or they've got a business looking to look at solar and batteries for their premise, how would someone reach out to you guys, SAE?
Quite easily. Jump on our website, give us a call. Offices up and down the coast now, and have just also launched in WA. Yeah, website and phone number would be probably the main points of contact.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Mel. It's been really educational, and I think it'll be really helpful for people out there that are considering either solar or batteries. And we really appreciate it.
Great. Thanks for having me.
I Count Beans, accountants and bookkeepers.